So this is a sun as well. And so what this denotes to me is stardom, fame, recognition, a long cherished dream coming true. And if you're in the public eye, and if you're trying to catch that one big break, if you're looking for opportunities, and if you have been faced with, disappointments after disappointments when it comes to casting, when it comes to, people making promises, oh, this is going to be your next big role, or this is going to be your next big contract, or this is going to be your next big, break, and it has fallen through for whatever reason. It's like it has been so hyped up and you were like mentally prepared for it. And then when it didn't happen, it could feel very, very disappointing, right? I was mentioning with the Taurus reading, I was talking about how for us fixed signs, okay, Taurus, Leos, Aquarius, and Scorpio, once our mind is mentally made up, or once we, accepted a specific course of action and we think about how things are going to pan out in our mind, if the reality doesn't match up with our imagination, the reality can seem very, very disappointing. And so I feel like you have dealt with a lot of disappointments in the past when it comes to this next big break. People were making so many promises, and you've chased several, I feel like, dead ends, or gigs that didn't really pan out, or things where I honestly feel this coming in. People wanted things, it's like opportunities with strings attached, okay? People wanted to give you fame and fortune, but, you had to do some things that you did not want to do in the process of achieving the fame and fortune. And what I mean is, like sleazy contracts, sleazy dealings, just like slimy, grimy, opportunistic people, and then dealing with people who are just like, and like the casting couch, okay? Why don't you, let us take some photos of you, and then we'll pass it along to some big wig, and, in exchange, you might have to, do something that you don't want to do, like you have to sleep with them, you have to, do favors for them. So I feel like there has been a lot of dealings here with just sleazy, greasy, slimy people who wanted things in exchange, okay? So it's like they didn't do it out of their sense of goodwill. They didn't do it in good faith. I feel like they wanted things in return. And I feel like this is a very sobering effect, okay? Dealing with a lot of these people, and dealing with people who were there for you when your star shone bright, and then who decided to leave the picture when the lights dimmed, okay? So I feel like you might have had like a myriad of like experiences where there was like a huge up and down when it comes to your stardom, when it comes to your work, when it comes to your career. Like you reach really low lows and really high highs, and then you realize that the friends or your company or the people around you, there was very, very high turnover as well, because these people were riding your coattails, or these people were around when your star was bright, and then they're nowhere around whenever you needed them. And so I feel like this was a very, it's like a wake-up call, and it's like a big eye-opening moment for you to realize who your true friends are, who have been around, who have stuck it out, and who has been through hell and back with you, and especially the ones that, were the people that would ride or die with you. And so what I'm sensing is, for those who have been going through this, no wonder the connection where the two kids or the two people, whoever has been walking alongside you all along, dealing with these people that, rode your coattails, and then when the opportunity is no longer there, they left the picture. They chose to walk away. The crowd dispersed, okay? So no wonder it made that other person who has been there for you and walking alongside you, it made them a lot more memorable. It made them a lot more, I want to say, like, that connection, you value it so much more, mainly because this is the person that has been that consistent fixture in your life. Okay. They've always been a part of your life. They've always been a part of your landscape. And no matter who you are, no matter where your career is, no matter, how famous you are, no matter how, how far you might have fallen, from stardom or whatever, they were still around. I feel like that's why you cherish that connection so much, because you know that it's real. But going back to this message, I'm not done here with this message. I apologize for skipping back and forth, but I'm feeling that there's a big break, okay? There's a big breakthrough. There's recognition. There is like popularity and the whole concept about the star rising. I feel like the time is in the present for you to manifest some big dreams, especially if it relates to, being in the public sphere, being in the public environment, and being able to make like a lot of good traction for yourself as it comes to your career, or as it relates to your ability to get attention from other people, or even to get a lot of recognition for whatever you do. And I'm seeing a lot of people who might be in social media, who might be models, who might be actors, and things like that, okay? And so what I do see here, aside from those two connections, I do see a relationship, okay? And I'm getting a lot of relationship vibes. But what I have here is the Six of Cups. This is the ride or die, okay? Till death do us part type of an energy. This is somebody who is exceptionally in your life, like who's an exceptional person in your life. They really, really, really care about you. There's a very strong soul connection here. And, this is somebody that when you are like burning, the midnight oil, pulling all-nighters to get something done, and they see you kind of like falling asleep on the table, they turn off the lights and they put a blanket on you. This is somebody with that sort of a quiet, loving, caring nature. Okay, they do things, and just to show that they care. Okay, this is somebody who really cares about your well-being. This is also somebody who doesn't really expect anything from you. I see a very quiet love relationship between you and this person. They put up with all your things, okay? The temper tantrums, the disappointments, the frustration. I see this person quietly in the background, always absorbing, the impact, always. This is someone who's very, very kind, okay? And so this is somebody that, they see you as somebody that they want to settle down with when they're old. They want to share that, to share like a life with you. So these are children, okay, and they're growing old and they're turning into this old couple here. This is somebody that not only do you love this person, but I feel like you like them. When the two of you are together, they don't drive you crazy. They're not annoying. You put up, like they put up with all your quirks. You put up with all their quirks. And so there's a lot of compatibility. And if you get mad at each other, you don't stay mad very long. And then this is also somebody whose love is very, very quiet, whose love is very modest. And what I mean by that is it's a lot of the times too, when the love is so modest and when the love is so quiet, we forget that it's there. We might take it for granted. We might assume that it's always going to be there because it has never made its expectations known. So they might want certain things from you, but they've never, ever, ever tried to change you. They've never made demands on you. They've never reverted to like underhanded tactics to get to you. They have never played games. They have never withheld affection. They have never, kept scores. So this is somebody whose love is very genuine, but it's also very modest and it's also very quiet. And I feel like there's a sense of like, it has always been there and we sometimes can take it for granted. And I feel like, there might be somebody, and I feel like it's the energy of somebody who's giving you all of this love and nurturing. And then I also feel for some of you, you might be this person who's giving somebody this, okay? And I'm seeing one person who's a little bit more on the flamboyant side. Like when they're upset, they get very emotionally volatile or just frustrated very, very easily. They go from 0 to like 60 when it comes to their level of frustration, not getting what they want, or like when life deals them with some type of a blow. They get very agitated, and then this person is like the soothing balm. Okay, so I see like an opposites attract, but I feel like the relationship is very harmonious because there's a lot of trust. There's deep, like a very deep soul connection, and you understand each other. You understand when to give the other person space, or they understand when to give you space, and you both understand when to give the other person support. And so I feel like there's somebody in your life. This is such a beautiful connection. There's somebody in your life that is like this for you guys. And I feel like because this situation is so, quiet, and you forget that it's there, and you might oftentimes think that it's always going to be there. I feel like for some of you, you might have been pulled towards a different connection, okay? And with fire signs, especially the Aries and the Sagittarius, the Aries and the Sagittarius love the thrill of the chase, okay? They love things that are like explosive, like really passionate, emotions, infatuation, and just, a connection that really sweep them off their feet. And then I feel like with you, Leo, you're a little bit more sensible and you're less hot-headed than, the Aries and the Sagittarius. But what I feel is there's another connection here that is really pulling. It's like really, really pulling you towards it. And you might also feel like, you're gravitating towards this different connection. And what I have seen is, I'm seeing here in this spread, not that I have seen, but what I'm seeing here is there's a very safe, real, and strong spiritual union that you have with another person. And there's nothing here but chemistry. Okay, there's nothing here but chemistry. And there's nothing here but just infatuation and just passion. And I feel like it burns out. Okay, so there's something here about a situation where it's really passionate, but it fizzles out. As soon as it started, it just fizzles out. And I feel like, in your mind, you felt like this connection might have it's almost like you thought it was going to be one way, and I feel like once you're in the midst of it or in the thick of it, it turns out to be another way. And so what I'm seeing is this thing might have burned out. There might have been third party interfering. There might have been somebody stepping out of a relationship is what I'm sensing. And I don't like to say that, but the cards are just reiterating the same message. And I feel like this is a situation where, because it burned out, somebody got really, really hurt and they've had to walk away. Okay, this is walking away from an emotional investment, walking away from a situation that left us very, very, very dissatisfied. And in this card, the way it's depicted, he's holding onto his stomach. Okay, it's like something that made you feel a little bit like sick to your stomach. Okay. Or it's like holding your heart, okay? Mainly because, a lot of the times heartache does create like a physical response where we feel as if we are in physical pain. So I feel like it's a situation that you might not want to walk away from, or the other person might not want to walk away from, but as a result of, investing so much emotions and not having the relationship very balanced, it's always lopsided, right? It's always lopsided. There are always gaps to fill. There are always things to fix in that relationship because it's very tumultuous and turbulent. It's exciting nonetheless, but it's very, very turbulent. It's very unstable. And I feel like somebody made a conscious decision to walk away here, and they could be walking back towards, this safer connection, because now they understand that I thought the grass was greener, but I was wrong. I got myself into this situation and I'm empty-handed. I have nothing to show for the emotional investment that I put in this person. So I'm going back to something else. I feel like there's an energy here about somebody might have that did this, and now they're coming clean. Okay, now there's communication, now there's a resolution, now there's a situation here where they're like, let's talk about it, let's talk about how I messed up, let's talk about what exactly happened, let's talk about why I consciously made a decision to dishonor pretty much this connection, went for something that I knew from the get-go was going to be very turbulent. And then at the end of it, I am empty-handed. I have nothing to show for it, but I want to fess up. So I feel like there is a confession. There is an apology coming into the picture because somebody realized they made the wrong choice. And I feel like this could be you to another person, or this could be another person to you. And I feel greatly, there's a lot of energies here where it is indicating to me like another person messing up a really, really good situation. And they thought the grass was greener, and they definitely realized that they were wrong. And then I also feel like it's a situation where it took a really long time for whoever that was, either cheated on or whoever that was left behind. It took a really long time to heal, okay? And there was healing. There was a lot of rebuilding. There was a lot of like daily affirmation, looking at, yourself in the mirror and telling yourself, I don't need that person. I can survive this. I'm a survivor. And Leos, you guys are survivors. And it took a long time to rebuild your self-esteem. Nobody likes to be cheated on. And I think, we've all experienced it, unfortunately. And we've all learned a lot as a result of it, unfortunately, too. But I feel like it's not only is, infidelity a major breach of trust, I feel like it's very destructive to the self-esteem of the person that was cheated on. Okay, it's very, very detrimental. And I feel like somebody had to rebuild themselves from scratch after a love affair went awry. And I also feel like, it took a really, really, really long time, whoever it is, you or the other person. And I feel like it took a really long time to heal. And in the healing process, I feel that if this is a truce that's coming in, if this is an apology that's coming into the picture, it's a bittersweet apology. And I feel like it might also be belated, okay? It's like, no, the cups are already spilled. You can't undo this, okay? And I mentioned with one of the signs, I think it might have been Capricorn, because that imagery, the same card came up for Capricorn. And I said to Capricorn, it's like, no, you already, disrespected. You already knocked over these cups. I'm not going to go downstream to get clear water and fill up the cup. I'm going to stay right here, because this is going to be the constant reminder for me of what transpired between the two of us. So the next time you act up, then I'm going to be able to wave this over your head, okay? And I feel like, somebody is holding something kind of like as a memento or as a reminder of what used to be, or as a reminder of what the other person did. Somebody has to remind themselves that never again, because I feel like the draw and the allure from this connection is so strong that you get weak in the knees, and then you forget how this person behaved in the past, and then you take them back. And so you have to have something like a physical reminder of what this relationship meant to you, as well as what the other person did, so that you don't fall into the same trap. So I'm seeing a situation here that is very, very circular, okay? Strong connection that somebody forsook, went for another situation that didn't work out, might have tried to go back to it, might have tried to, make amends, might have tried to apologize. But whatever it is, it's like too little too late. And then I also feel like it's a situation where it's already been done. Even if we get back together, the trust issues are still going to be endemic to that relationship, and it might be, doomed to repeat. Okay, so I definitely see a pattern here that you kind of need to break. And then on the other side, so that's the first 6 cards. Okay, on the other side, what I'm feeling is there's a situation here where there's definitely somebody asking for forgiveness. I'm drawn to the people praying, okay, on either side of her. And this is the High Priestess, by the way. And she's kind of like turned away. She's cold and distant. And I feel like there's definitely somebody here, one person apologizing, the other person turning cold, turning a blind eye, hearing the apologies, but not feeling it. So there's an emotional disconnection from a situation, mainly because the other person is guarded, the other person is hurt, the other person wants more than just words, okay? They want actions. They want, it's like, word is cheap. Like, it's just, it doesn't do anything. And so I feel like you guys might be in a situation where you're trying to mull things over, okay? The apologies are definitely coming into the picture. You guys are mulling things over. You guys are trying to decide, is it worth giving it another go? Is it worth getting back on this merry-go-round? Is it worth giving this person the benefit of the doubt? Or should I just, wash my hands clean of this person? For others of you, I definitely feel like this might be on the career front, where you have a lot of offers, tentative offers coming through. For some of you, multiple job offers. You might have gone through a dry spell where there were like no offers coming into the picture. You're like plugging away, applying for jobs left and right, applying for gigs, applying for, speaking engagement, for roles, for auditions, for whatever it is, interviews, and nothing came into the picture. And you're waiting for that big, long awaited, dream. And you're just like, I've waited so long. It's a pipe dream. I should give up on this dream and just, pursue a regular, safe, stable 9-to-5 job. And then I feel like it's definitely coming into the picture for you. You feel that there's something breaking. Like you feel like there's something coming into the picture, something coming in very swiftly. You feel that your time is here. And I feel like your intuition is definitely on point. Okay. It's telling you that this magical unicorn that you thought, doesn't even exist in the real world, and you're waiting for all these offers, I feel like it's finally coming into the picture for you. That long-awaited offer, that long-awaited person, that long-awaited gig or, job or position or title, or just, the chance of a lifetime, like that big break that you've been waiting for is finally coming into the picture. You have felt it in like I feel like a spiritual sort of like, you might have seen signs, you might have seen, you might have felt it on an energetic level, and now it's finally telling you that it's real. You've been feeling it all this time because it's getting closer and closer and closer to you. And as a result of that, I feel like you might have been in the midst of, in the middle of accepting all these little offers. And then this big offer comes in and you're trying to, send out those emails and retract or rescind. I don't feel like the right word is rescind. You might have tried to, send out those emails after the fact and try to tell the hiring personnel or whoever it is, like, oh, the thing that I'm really waiting for is actually here. And you're trying to mull over how to write those emails. So let me just say, as fixed signs, okay, I'm a fixed sign. When we say we're going to do something, we always follow through. And I mentioned with Taurus, we live with a lot of guilt. We live with a lot of guilt because we have this overwhelming sense of responsibility to everybody else, to everything else in our world. So when we tell a hiring personnel, oh, I'm going to accept that offer, I'm going to start Monday, and then a better offer comes along, after we've already accepted the first offer, we feel really, really, really guilty. But I have to say, things happen. People do this all the time. They wait out for the best offer. It is within your right to say no, even after you have accepted. It is within your right to change your mind, okay? And I don't mean, constantly change your mind and being reckless and irresponsible. I don't see that with fixed signs, and especially not with you, Leos. You are very, very committed. Once you sign on that dotted line, once you accept, once you say yay or nay to something, you really stick to it. And I feel like you're feeling a little bit guilty as to how to turn down or reject, or to go back to, and first you accept and then you have to reject something. It is okay to do that, okay? This is your life here that we're talking about. These are major decisions. People will understand, okay? People will understand. If you explain to them, they will understand that you're choosing the best offer given the information that you have at the time. More information will always come in, and it is within your right to change your decisions, change your mind, given the new information. And so that's the way the world works. Don't feel guilty. Don't pass up on a good offer because you feel indebted to something. That goes for relationships as well, okay? It doesn't mean to be reckless with people's emotions and to, go around breaking hearts. It just means that given all the information that you have at your disposal, try to make the best decision for yourself. Try to go with the person that you feel would be the best option for yourself. Okay, so I feel here there's a lot to be said about, needing to make adjustments, okay? Whatever suited us like 5 years ago might be outdated, might be outworn, might be inappropriate for us in the present time. And so we need to take stock, and we need to constantly update, and we need to constantly reassess with the full information that we have in front of us, whether or not something is still viable to take into the future. So I don't want you to feel guilty if you have to change your mind. And I feel like the sooner you realize that you need to change your mind and go with a different course, the sooner you need to respond to those emails and let those people know so that they can make contingency plans, okay? Don't feel bad. This is just what people do, and this is something that you need to do to start doing for yourself so that you have the best offer on the table, okay? So I feel like there's a lot of guilt here, and I feel like you're mulling over how to say no. That's what it seems like. And I feel like you potentially might have, a lot of new offers on the romantic front as well. And you're sitting there mulling them over. You might have decided, I want to date this person, but I feel like emotionally I'm not ready yet. Let them know. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. You're allowed to change your mind. Okay. And so what I have here is your career being really, really on track. This is a singles card, but I'm seeing here lots of options on the dating front for those of you who are single and dating. Your financial front looks really, really good because I feel like there's new opportunities breaking through. Your time has come for you to get either the recognition, for you to be self-employed, for you to even have a lot of offers, a lot that you can pick and choose from. If you've gone through like a dry spell where the offers were not coming in, now you're in a space of abundance. Now you're in a space of like, what do I do? There are too many options. And, and this is where you have to be careful, learning from the past, going with the options that are appropriate for you, and going with the options that are promising a more of a heartfelt, sincere, and a soulful connection, rather than seeking something that might be exciting but extremely turbulent, okay? So that is what I have for you here, Leos. I feel like the month of October is going to be very, very phenomenal, okay?